And if any of my members group me, if I mess up something, let me know. One thing we said was positive was the access from Atkinson Way as another crossover between Warwick and Jefferson to allow cars to get through. Another positive was the transportation center that will be built. That's going to go ahead and more centrally located where the train station is now, further down Warwick Boulevard. There was a lot of concerns, obviously, like the other groups, with the empty Kmart facility over there, that shopping center. And some of the suggestions that we had for it was to go ahead and possibly move the municipal center, including the fire, police, social services, court services, and juvenile services, over to the Kmart, leave Grissom Library where it's at, because Grissom Library right now where it's at is easier accessible for people on foot and everything else too. But by moving the municipal center with court services and social services, it makes it more accessible for the people who might be like an old courthouse and everything else to walk to that area and that need the help and everything too. This is the no positives, the access to the airport. Also at Land and Campbell, like where First Baptist Church is, they need a sidewalk badly. Very narrow road, deep ditches. Really, it is a liability. We also said Lucas Creek also has ditches and needs sidewalks and bikeways, as well as Beachmont also. We said, well, most of the sidewalks are not safe along the corridor. They're in poor condition or non-existent. Walkway lights, we need to have better lighting up on the Denbigh corridor here in the Warwick corridor. It's got to be better lit. If we do have places where we're going to make pedestrian walkways or pathways, there needs to be LED lighting and really good lighting on that. We also talked about the lack of diverse affordable apartments around here, how it's very hard to find them, and the ones that are around here are not being maintained. So maybe if they get maintained, that might make a better living situation for everybody. We would like to see more code enforcement with these properties, because the homeowners need to be held accountable, or these property managers need to be held accountable for their property, and that will make everybody's stuff go up. Also, we talked about maybe the Kmart site, if you don't go with the municipal center, maybe having some kind of mixed use there. Not just like, we don't want low-end apartments, not super high-rise apartments, but something a little mixed with business and the apartments. We went ahead and said that, I'm confused on this one. Connectivity to employment?
Yeah, so one of the opportunities is to be able to have more connectivity to areas of employment. So looking, how do we actually get people to their jobs? Is it by walking? Is it by bus? Is it by car? Looking at, with traffic being an issue, that's one of the threats right now. Someone talked about the meeting tonight, they sat in traffic for 30 minutes. So if we're having so much congestion, how does that affect people trying to go to opportunity spots? And then as far as the airline itself, the threat of the fact that, while it's a good thing that we have it, the lack of service from the airline is concerning.
We have food desert up there too, because everybody always talks about downtown, but if you think about our area, the food line at Stony Brook on Warwick Boulevard, you go past that, there's no more grocery stores. You have little mom and pop stores up towards Colony and Warwick and all, but there's nothing major. On the Jefferson side, you've got that food line out Rich Neck. After that, there's nothing. So we actually have food desert up our way too.
And then regarding relocation, a couple of the big things we said was a bus stop needs to be close to the municipal center so that there's accessibility. Lighting needs to be there so that it's safe to walk. Safety was the #1 thing. If we're putting in connectivity and sidewalks and bike paths, making sure it's safe, because they said that really, accessibility starts with safety. And so if you don't feel safe, you're not going to be able to use these methods of transit.
And that was from the group members, not me, just y'all know, okay?
And then finally, again, reiterating that the library could stay in its current site and maybe expand. They weren't as concerned as moving every service together. So it was, we can move municipal, we can move fire to a different location, leave library where it is, because they really liked the connectivity to the neighborhood.
And keep in mind, somebody said something about a farmer's market. If you turn around and move the fire station, municipal center, you destroy those buildings, there you can build your little park right next to the library. Thank you.